Kelly.
And I'm Rhi.
And welcome to our Coffee Talks. This is our first official episode, and we are just coming here today to introduce ourselves, let you know why you might want to hang out a little bit and get to know us.
We got a lot going on over here. We decided a little while ago to move both of our families collectively to a property out in the middle of nowhere, start a homestead, rebuild our decade-old real estate business, and venture into some things that just
are unknowns.
So welcome, and every week we're going to give you a little bit of new content. It's never going to be the same.
It's going to be all over the place.
It's going to be a little feral, just a little. So we apologize in advance if we drop a couple of four-letter words here and there, because that just kind of happens out here on the farm, and
that's who we are.
It's what we do.
And this is kind of like our vlog podcast way of documenting our journey and hoping that maybe we can help some other people. But it's going to cover a whole rack of things. Like, we historically have built multiple real estate businesses. Multiple real estate businesses over the last 10 years. Up in Northern Virginia, West Virginia, and Maryland. Helped a bunch of different team leads and brokerages grow, and then we decided that we wanted to go out on our own and have our own team. And we wanted a farm, and I wanted a horse, and she wants a massive garden, and we want chickens and goats and bees.
Mainly because honey is so expensive, so we just want to do it ourselves.
Yeah, and it helps the environment. That makes me super excited. And then, our kids, as everybody has to experience if they have children, are just like stuck to electronics. And I think it was really important for both of us that they find ways to be unstuck from those things. And
we have a lot of kids. We have like 7 between the two of our families. Seven children and a grandbaby on the way. And I'm not ready to talk about it. I'm only 37, but nevertheless, we got a lot of kids. So we have a lot of experiences, a lot of adventures, a lot of shortcomings and wins and trials and tribulations. And we just think that it's really important for anyone who is going through the similar or thinking about starting a homestead or running a business or whatever it may be, that you have some relatable, caffeine addicted ladies to help take you along that journey, no matter how silly or intense or laid back that it might be. So we're really glad that you're here, and we hope that you follow along on our journey. And that's kind of it.
So we're going to kind of jump into a little bit of who we are. Try not to make this super long. Attention spans are super short these days anyways. But, relocating to a new city is difficult for anybody, and we decided to do that. So we're going to be building multiple businesses from the ground up again. But like I said, we're going to jump into who we are, and I'm going to let Rhi go first. She is awesome, fierce mama, like I said, or we both said we have multiple children between us. I have 3, she has 4. And I'll let her kind of jump into that and talk about what she's passionate about, and then I'll jump in and we can kind of try it up from there.
Well, thank you, Kelly. We need the caffeine, all the caffeine, because our days start very, very early, or as my youngest, my 7-year-old would say, we wake up before Jesus himself to go to school, because they get up at 5:15 every day to get ready for school. So I'll jump in. My name's Rhi. I am a fierce, loving mama and wife. My amazing husband, Shane, is the best ever. And when we got married, he added 2 extra children to our family. We have Caden and Emily. Caden is the one having the baby, and we're real excited about it. Emily is our daughter, and she will actually be moving down here next year. And then I have Noah and Elias, who are 11 and 7. They're the tech addicted ones that we're trying to detox from all of the technology that they got accustomed to living in or just outside of the DMV area in the panhandle of West Virginia. That's where we moved from. I have been in real estate for almost 12 years now. It'll be 12 years come January. And I did not ever think I'd own one business, let alone multiple, or be running a team or training people to do what I do successfully. But here I am. Let's see, what else about me? Like, I am super passionate about gardening, and I call it like the hippie lifestyle. I am big into naturopath and herbalism because both of my children, my younger two, have medical issues. And we have learned that in conjunction with some conventional medicine, a lot of natural medicine is actually very beneficial to them. So we started that journey a few years ago, which started with a teeny tiny garden. And in the next year, we're going to have a massive 10,000 square foot garden that I am kind of running point on out here because it's something that I've been doing for the last 5 or 6 years.
I feel like your journey started well before that because Noah had like allergies to chemicals and stuff like that. So you jumped into like the hippie lifestyle.
I did. I'm one of those that likes to make her own soap and perfume and all of those things. But don't worry, I wear deodorant. I like to smell good and all of those things.
We
but
have makeup on. We do our hair.
We just do things a little bit different than the conventional norm. My 11-year-old has some severe allergies and a rare disease called hyper IgE. Last I checked, there were less than 800 people in the whole world that dealt with it, and basically his immune system just doesn't talk very well to one another. And so we got rid of most of the chemicals and commercial products in our home, and then my little one was diagnosed with epilepsy and a microadenoma on his brain. Benign, thank God, but can cause some problems. And
what is that for those people who like?
It's the easiest way to explain it is a pituitary tumor, or a cyst that has the ability to turn into a tumor with their brain growth. And tiny humans are constantly growing, so we have to constantly monitor it. But with that, we really took the plunge into growing our own organic food and preserving food and removing artificial dyes and sugars and things like that. And finding alternative sources. So that is really what I am passionate about. So I guess you could say I'm fiercely passionate about my children, and willing to walk to the end of the world to make sure that they grow up happy, healthy, and as well adjusted as feral kids can grow. And Kelly and I will get into our adventure as to how we ended up in the middle of literally nowhere. Both of us living on the same property and building our dream homes and building this homestead. But when we came down here, we decided that detoxing them from the technology aspect was great. And I told my kids, I said, you're going to grow up how I grew up. Go outside and play, come home when it's dark. So we allow them the freedom to explore and be children and do those things. So, and that gives us time to chase this dream that we're chasing, which is super fun, but we're doing it literally from raw land. So it's a learning experience. We're constantly learning while we are simultaneously rebuilding a business down here and still running our business up there. So I do a lot of travel up to West Virginia, Maryland, and the Shenandoah Valley area of Virginia for work, because that pays the bills. But we are still building it down here, and we're jumping right in, and we're having a blast while we're doing it. So as far as that goes for me, I think that's pretty much sums it up. I'm super passionate about all things hippie and natural, and while still dyeing my hair on occasion and wearing makeup from Ulta, because let's be real, I'm a girl. And coffee. I am fiercely passionate about coffee.
That's my biggest complaint about this area that we have chosen. There is not good coffee.
Which means we might just open up a good coffee shop at some point. Because, multiple businesses. We have a touch of the squirrels. So we like to do lots of things. But I think I'm going to let Kelly go ahead and take it over and talk about her family and what she's passionate about, so I can catch up to the caffeine intake because I feel like I'm slacking. So
I'm slacking. It's fine. So like Rhiannon was saying, I'm Kelly. I grew up, I guess I started out in Silver Spring, Maryland, because that's where I was born. But when I was very young, moved out to a farm. My family were not farmers at all. But they provided a life for us living on a farm that we rented out to other farmers to use that was, I mean, I remember it. It's my fondest memories. And my goal growing up and into adulthood was to provide that same kind of experience for my kids when I had them. And so I, you know, entered the rat race, worked in government contracting, worked in restaurant business. I was a server and a bartender and squirreled around in a lot of different careers until I finally found myself, actually another one of our friends at the time and Rhiannon suggested that I should get my real estate license, and I finally got into it. And I didn't hit my stride for a long time. I ended up getting like my marketing degree and helping other, like we mentioned earlier, I helped a bunch of businesses, whether they be construction or real estate businesses, brokerages, teams grow. And that was kind of my forte for a long time, was helping other businesses grow. And then I finally, during COVID, figured out that I was never going to make as much money and have as much freedom as I wanted unless I was working for myself.
Yeah.
So when I did that,
She hit the ground running, guys. She's being modest. She's being super modest because that's what she does. But she literally built brands for companies and made those people thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars while working a traditional 9 to 5. And do you remember the captain's logs during COVID? We'll have to have a whole episode on that. We were stuck in the house. And we decided to get serious. And that was the year that both of us really got serious. And we made a lot of money. You made more money in real estate that year, I believe. No?
It was the next year. It was the groundwork that we laid. And that's kind of how real estate goes. But the groundwork that we laid while we had nothing to do because everybody was locked in their houses.
Literally.
Built the business that I then did. And in my first official year on my own, because I remember I jumped into government contracting and quickly realized that that was not for me. Literally cried my eyes out every day at that job. So the first year that I worked, that was literally just real estate for me,
You did well.
I did very well. And so we have continued to build on that. But that is not, all of who I am. I am a mom. I am a fiance. So at some point there will be a wedding in the near future. I met the man of my dreams online, as much as we dig about technology and the fact that he knew everybody that I knew, but I never met him.
I went to high school with him.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah, a lot of my friends.
Both
of my best friends went to high school with him. So he's just older and has brought a lot of stability, I would say, to the chaos that I have and you have. And our men complete that and kind of stand still. We're squirreling, and they're like, no, this is where we need to, you can squirrel in this area.
Stay inside the lines.
Here's the lines. You can squirrel in there.
Don't step out of the box.
Because we are all over the place. Both of us have a touch of the ADHD. So I have 3 daughters. I am a girl mom. I have 3 younger brothers, so I grew up with all boys. So it was only fair that I had 1 or 2 daughters, but then I got a bonus daughter and she's amazing. So it all worked out. Somehow I ended up a girl mom.
And now we just have a lot of kids.
A lot of kids and a lot of dogs. So my passion has always been animals. When I was a kid, if you asked me what I wanted to be, I wanted to be a vet. Once I realized that there was blood and poop involved in being a vet, I was not about it. F that. I'm not going to say it in our first episode, but F that. That's gross. I vomit. I would vomit. I vomit when my own dogs have stuff happen at the vet. So, but I have a problem of adopting dogs. I got 1 dog and then I was like, oh, I'm not going to get another one. And then I found the other one at a coffee shop and I said to my friend at the time, I was like, I don't want to go touch the puppies. Let's go touch puppies. I'm telling you, I don't want to touch the puppies.
And then she came home and handed me a coffee and said, hey, I adopted a dog. You did what? Coffee?
Coffee.
Like, she just adopts all the dogs.
I went to Black Dog Coffee and came home with a black dog and a coffee.
Yes. It's perfect.
But she's like this big, it doesn't count. And then John wanted a German Shepherd because there's a whole story there. And so we got Ruckus, and Ruckus is his dog. That is his boy.
The 100-pound lap puppy that thinks he's the size of a chihuahua.
He's one of the biggest German Shepherds I've ever seen, and he does think he's the size of a chihuahua, and he also thinks that he is a Department of Homeland Security agent that barks at, I don't know, the air, wind, everything. And then we have Ella, and Ella is my golden doodle that I could not say no to. One of my clients was breeding them, and she was like, hey, if you help me find a house, I'll help you find another dog. Want one? And I was like, sure. And John was like, we have 4 dogs. What have you done? No more dogs. And yet we still look at all of the Humane Society posts. And I showed her one last night that I was like, oh my God, I want it. Do you want a 5th dog? No.
Nope.
No, I want chickens.
Nope.
I want chickens, and I want goats, and I want bees. And I am not taking on any more dogs until I can handle all of that. That's what I'm doing.
You're forgetting the 2 most important animals. The horse and the donkey, dude. Like, we gotta get Enola here and her bestie donkey friend.
Yes. I
a whole nother project.
I also rescued a horse. Which, I feel like that's a very, like, dramatic thing to say. Like, I rescued a horse.
She was told no more dogs, so we upgraded.
And that's a whole other thing. We're not going to take up your time with that. We'll talk about that another time. But, like, it's, you know, I just wanted this life of peace and freedom and uncharted waters, I guess. I don't know. I'm a beach person, but somehow I ended up out in the middle of nowhere 5 hours from the beach. And just like, at least I'm not in the middle of the country. But 3 daughters, a wonderful fiance, 4 dogs, a horse who comes with a donkey now. That's why she mentioned the donkey. I have to have a donkey for the horse now because she imprinted. And this wonderful journey that we're on that is pure chaos and fun and stress and all of that at once. But what the journey will be, the end goal is going to be amazing, but it's not the end goal that's the most important part. It's your journey. So, like, documenting that and just having fun while we're at it, because if you don't have fun, it's just stress.
It is, exactly. You have to make the best of all the situations. Did either one of us move down here knowing what to do with 12 acres of land in the middle of nowhere? Did we genuinely know all of the dreams that were going to compound on top of the initial dream? Like, you don't know those things. I know that I love to sit outside on a cool fall morning and drink a cup of coffee, but I did not know how much peace it was going to bring me to be able to do it with my best friend on her front porch every day while my house is being built, because I don't have a front porch yet. And how much it was going to, like, set the tone for the day. Mm-hmm. You know, like, our day starts way earlier than either one of us ever wanted it to start, but
I'm not a morning person. I will never be a morning person. You've been a morning person for a long time.
Well, I'm just adjusted to it. I don't want to be a morning person. Trust me, I don't. I'd rather have my morning coffee at noon, but that doesn't happen. So, you know, there's all of that. But you come out here looking for a new adventure, and you find little adventures along the way that make the bigger adventure so much more enjoyable.
Yep. And learning. We're literally building a business, multiple businesses, but because John, my fiance, has a renovations business that he is hitting the ground running while we hit the ground running, and we're co-marketing and getting out there and learning the cities around us. We are in Danville, Virginia, Pennsylvania County, which, if you don't know, we are between Lynchburg and Greensboro, North Carolina. So dead smack in the middle. It's literally an hour to each. And it's 30 minutes just to get to the grocery store. So we are literally in the middle of nowhere. So it's going to be a fun journey. I think that's all the time we're going to take from you guys today. But, you know, if you align with any of this, sit back and have some fun, because this is going to be a shit show.
Enjoy the ride. That's all we can say is enjoy the ride.
And that was our coffee talk. See ya.